Cue the music.
Jamaicans, are they here?
Yeah, I'm actually locating them right now. Where are they at? I think they are. Hold on, where the fuck are they at?
Is this thing on?
Yeah.
Are we live?
Oh, welcome to the Real Fantasy Playmakers. I am your host, Bogard Scott Free, here with my esteemed colleague, coming direct to you from Area 51. How's it feel to be back?
Oh, man, back in it, you know what I'm saying? Week 12 in the books. Area 51 is quiet right now. You know, I had to put all the little aliens to bed, you know what I'm saying, get everything situated. But it's that time now, baby. It's that time. Week 13, you know what I mean? The first real playoff round for some of you fantasy motherfuckers, but some of y'all, you know, it's not that case.
I mean, shit, you know what? Some people can't go to the dance. Some people are. I mean, I guess that's just how the game goes, right? You know, you could tell I got a little confused there for a second. Well, listen, straight out the gate, follow us at the GMM Network. Follow me at Bogard Scott Free World. Follow my esteemed colleague, The Goo, at The Guru 408. Shout out to our sponsor, Milk and Honey. Give me money, all the shit. All right, hold on. Real quick, I'm a little fucking out of my mind. All right.
I mean, that's not breaking news.
I know.
Go on. Tell me
Hold
what.
on. Okay. All right. So my esteemed colleague, right? He slides through with a special little gift. You know what I'm saying? A little whatever the fuck he was carrying with him. You know what I mean?
Oh.
And I wake up yesterday. I'm feeling like shit. And you know what I'm saying? For those who don't, check us out, Playmakers. My day job. I'm a scientist. You know what I'm saying? And I'll tell you this much.
And a fantasy doctor. Don't forget.
Yes, all that. You know what I mean?
All the titles. All the titles.
Several hats. And, you know, as a scientist, and a doctor, I do know that it takes roughly 48 hours for an illness to incubate. And my friend, the Goo, he was a tad bit under the weather. You went through
I was questionable coming into tonight.
Yes, you know what I mean? And so I passed the 48 hours, you know what I mean? And I wake up this morning, I was feeling better than I did yesterday.
You cleared the protocol?
Well, but I'm like, damn. So before we get into the recap and injuries and all the shit, waiver shit, all the shit that y'all is here for, I want to ask you something, Goo. So what should I expect? I mean, like, because you were, like, bedridden yesterday. Like, what is this, like a stomach flu?
Well, I wasn't bedridden. I did go to work. I did get up at 5 a.m.
Oh, okay, yeah.
So, I mean,
okay.
I did. But, I mean, I wasn't grinding. It was kind of like I was just late. I was dead at work, too. But went home, crashed out, missed the night game. If you get what I get, it's gonna be a lot of leaking from the orifices of the head. You know, just some sneezing and just some sleep would be nice. You know what I'm saying? So catch up on your sleep. If you get what I get, I mean, but I think you're all right, bro. I think you're all right. You sound good today. That was Friday. It's Monday.
Unfortunately, I don't get any sleep.
Well, you don't sound like you get sick either, so I think you're gonna be all right.
You know what?
I'm surviving.
You know what? I think I'll be all right. You know what I'm saying? Here's the one thing. You know what I'm saying? I'm so OCD than the motherfucker, and on the show, right? You might have sneezed like 7 times. I wasn't counting. You know what I mean?
Right? Oh, it was more than that. It was definitely more than that.
And you would turn and sneeze, right? And I'm like, in my head, I'm like, damn, a sneeze has a 12-foot radius. You know what I mean? I'm like,
covering them up.
all in his.
Covering them up.
I'm just saying. I'm like, you know, my OCD operates at a different level where I'm like, damn it. You know what I mean? And then even like, you know, when I'm prepping for this show or, you know, quote unquote prepping, I'm chilling and then just this drip comes out my nose. I'm like, oh no.
All right, so question then.
Yes.
Would your OCD prefer that I go to Area 51 next time?
Well,
and do the show? That's the real question.
Well, I mean, like...
Any answer you want to give me is safe. There's
like,
no judgment here.
Oh, my OCD? Oh, yeah, hell yeah. Like, just...
Get the fuck out,
stay
right?
the fuck over there, yeah. Well, but also because, you know what I'm saying, I just, you know, I mean, you know, you just like you. I mean, we got children, you know what I mean? So it's like, you know what I mean? And, like, I don't really have anyone...
They're the
Yes.
ones that bring it in.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. And then also like, you know, I do my best to not bring anything home neither. So it's like, you know what I'm saying? Because, you know, like any excuse I could have to like pass the kids on anyway. Like, look, you got this, babe. I'm sick. You know what I mean? Like,
Oh yeah.
yeah. All right, well shit. Let's get right into this recap. It's
I'll tell you one
episode
thing though. Yeah,
Okay.
What are we, 29?
Yeah, episode 29.
I'll tell you one thing. I did. My sickness put me out. I fell asleep in the first quarter of that Niner game. I saw Kevin Coleman sneak in for the first touchdown.
Use that IQ
I
rest.
fell out, and you know what? When I woke up, I felt a little bit better when I saw that score.
Oh, yeah.
37-8, man. I mean,
Yeah.
break it down for me. What we put it on them? It sounded like.
You know what's funny is I wanted Jamaican horns the fuck out of it, but the Jamaicans are geeked right now.
Where are they, bro? They still.
I don't know. They're geeked right now. I'm trying to figure these motherfuckers out right now.
You know what they're doing? They're getting the game plan ready for Lamar Jackson. That's what they're doing.
There really is though.
Next week. That's what the Jamaicans
Because
got
you know
their priorities
Jamaicans
in
are
order
Niner
today.
fans.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Without doubt.
Oh yeah.
Without doubt. Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
I mean, we wouldn't have hired them to be Jamaicans on this show if they weren't. You know what I'm saying? That was
No,
part of the,
I couldn't have
part of the deal.
not a near Jamaican unless they was of the
No,
elk.
they were pre-screened Jamaicans.
Yes.
I will say that. So 37-8.
No bumper
what
clots.
happened?
No
What
bumper
happened over there?
clots. Okay, well, all right, so check this out.
The defense ran wild or what?
All right, so
Obviously.
okay, in a nutshell, I could say it in a nutshell. So in a nutshell, Handsome Jimmy has us winning these games in ugly fashion on offense. You know what I mean? And you know what's crazy is like, you know, shout out to George Kittle, Jamaican Horns, Pim. This motherfucker, right? You know, I said it throughout the week on the show, like, he'll get up for this game, broken bones and all, whatever the fuck, you know what I mean? You know
Yeah,
what I mean?
I was one of the lines where I woke up and I checked his line and I saw 6 for
A buck
129 with the tug.
Sheesh.
Buck 29.
Woo!
I gasped and because I wasn't sure he was even active because I was so out of it I didn't check any of that shit.
Well, it was-
and then to see that, it was just wild.
And for all George Kittle owners, it's not like they had to, like, wait. That morning, it was like, today, he's going to play. Like, you know what I mean? Like, everyone woke up with the report saying that George Kittle was a go. You know what I mean? So it's not like you had to wait or make any kind of business decision. Matter of fact, I sneaked the
I still
W.
would have been worried, but I was worried about that injury. To begin
Yeah,
with. But I
and
mean,
then
man, to put up that line though after that, it's like.
And it was like George Kittle is one of those guys you wait on this motherfucker. You know what I mean? You had to have like a Ross Dwelly or someone to switch out, maybe someone on a Monday, maybe an advert or whatever the fuck your contingency plan was. But we all knew if George Kittle plays, you start him, whether you know he was going to be in limited fashion or not. You know what I'm saying? I mean, this is just one of those things. Like, you start your studs. If they're playing, you roll them out because like you wouldn't want them see them go off on your bench in a losing effort. Like if your team loses and it's because of you had this motherfucker on your bench, you're really hot. You know what I mean? Because you reached up in drafts to grab said player like a George Kittle for a reason. So if he's a go, you play him, and this is a testament to that. Plus, going into this matchup, I mean, Green Bay was like 5th worst against the tight end position. You know what I'm saying? So it was a lovely matchup. You know what I mean? And duly note that, playmakers, if you stream a tight end and you just look who's playing Green Bay. Like, for example, there might not be no Evan Ingram for the Giants, but they're playing the Packers, and like, you know, Red Ellison could be a play. You know what I mean? All right, but while we're on this Niner game, because let's just start there. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, George Kittle was a stud. Debo had a touchdown. I seen. He had
two receptions, 2 targets, 2 receptions.
Emmanuel Sanders was pretty much a decoy out there. It looked like.
Oh yeah, I'd say. I mean,
I actually did see his catch. That was one of the few because it was the first quarter. I saw the dance he did after. That's how I remember. It was one of the few plays I did see.
The Colonel.
I tuned out at the right time if I was an Emmanuel Sanders owner.
Yeah, because then that was it. It was just catch.
Yeah, and then call it a night. So
All
I mean, as on the Packers side of the ball, I mean, what happened?
On the Packers side of the ball, I mean, all right, I was telling you this. I was telling you this earlier. Like, we had this whole, I had this group thread with some other fellow Niners, and we was on some I was just on some, we got to go out there and punch him in the mouth. And then my partner was like, yeah, we got to go out there and kick him in the dick. And I'm like, okay, in that order. We go out there, punch him in the mouth, then kick him in the dick. And that's exactly what we did. Like, Aaron Rodgers, I want to say it was his first possession. Yeah, it sure was. It was Aaron Rodgers comes out. Yeah, because we deferred to them. So Aaron Rodgers' first possession, right? You know what I'm saying? We sack strip him. You know what I'm saying? Maybe it's not the first. It's probably the second possession because you said you fell asleep. You would have remembered this, right? Where Bosa comes in, bow. You know what I mean? He fumbles the rock. We take it all the way down to the 10. Then we punch that in with Coleman. Yeah, so you did see that. So it was.
No, they had a quick turnover. I'm guessing. I didn't see the turnover. I just saw the Niners.
Yeah, so we punched them. We punched them in the mouth. Then we kicked them right in the dick. You know what I mean? And that was pretty much the story of the night. You know what I mean? Like, they couldn't get anything going. I mean, I think it's a tale of two coaches that know each other well, but personally, and they've worked together for years, Shanahan and LaFleur. And, and then also Robert Saleh. That's his name, right? Robert
Saleh, yeah.
Yeah, so Bob Saleh, he's also, like, best friends with Matt LaFleur in real life. So, you know what I mean? It was just like, yo, you got to watch your friends sometimes because, yo, they know each other so well. And it was almost like he was like, here, Kyle. Robert Saleh was like, here, Kyle. Just put the fucking slab of paper on the table. And he's like, what is this? He's like, it's all LaFleur's bullshit that he tried to rip off from you. You know what I mean? Like,
slapped it on his desk.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like, this is where I'm gonna build the game plan to stop this motherfucker. You know what I mean? Like, and that, bro, it was so suffocating. I love to see that because Aaron Rodgers is such a name brand. You know what I mean? Where it's like that just the morale in the locker room, what that does for us, because we're about to go on
build
this.
Some steam going into Baltimore.
Yeah, and then further going into the Saints even. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Like, we need stuff like this, and we're good because our defense, thing of beauty. Our offense, ran by handsome Jimmy, kind of ugly. You know what I mean? Like,
very true. That brings me to my next topic, though.
Okay.
Baltimore, man, they put it on the Rams tonight. I mean, we stayed up a little bit later to watch this game, and Louisville Lamar showed up out there.
Oh yeah.
It was it was kind of fun to watch.
You know what? It was I had traded one. I had a package deal trade, and then long story longer. I always try to bring back a piece in place of a piece. So if there's a receiver involved, right, I've got to bring one back too. You know what I mean? So in this case, it was an Emmanuel Sanders and some change trade for Hollywood Brown and some change trade. And
you loved that tonight, didn't you?
Oh yeah. I mean, because when you think of someone like Hollywood Brown, what do you think of? Deep threat, right? And they were using him in every facet. He was the third down.
And he dropped the third touchdown too.
Yeah, and I'm not greedy.
It was just, I don't know. He looked good. He did look good. I mean, I kind of, after the fact, Hollywood. I mean, he's supposed to kind of,
yeah, very true.
You would think, right? He was out in Hollywood. You know what I'm saying? But outside of that, I mean, Lamar Jackson, 5 touchdowns, 95 yards on the ground. Mark Ingram got off $10 in a touchdown.
Mm-hmm.
It was just everyone did their thing over there. Baltimore, they are legit. I mean, I don't think
they're so legitimate.
Rams game or Ravens game is potential Super Bowl preview, bro.
And
wouldn't that be something? We get Baltimore Niners again.
Oh, it's crossed my mind.
Something?
It's crossed my mind. And
that'd be a problem.
Here's the thing too: is we so need George Kittle to be healthy.
100%.
I mean, look at how he looks like when he's not healthy. You know what I mean? I swear to God, bro. Because Debo is flashing cool. You know what I mean? That's fucking fine and dandy. We love that. But then we have nothing for real.
I think the Niners are gonna win next week, bro. I'm saying it right now. I think they're gonna win.
I like that. I haven't.
The Ravens. Here's why. Let me give you my reason behind that.
Okay.
It's because the Ravens. What did they just do? They just went into L.A. to Hollywood on Monday night, Showtime, You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
They played the Rams. This was a get-up game for the Ravens. You saw what they did tonight, 45-6. It was a get-up game. After this, I'm not saying the Niners can possibly be a letdown game for them, but they're on a little bit of a short week now, and they got to fly back home. Just like you know what I'm saying? And the Niners are a way better defense, bro. Bottom line, and we're coming for Lamar. And I think you're going to see the best. You're going to see the best played game against Lamar by any team this year next week by the Niners. And I just think that's going to be enough. Like, you're going to see a playoff game next week. I think it's going to be a playoff game atmosphere and like vibe to it. And Lamar's not going to be throwing those 5 touchdowns and running all over the field on us. That's just not happening. And it's going to be ugly. And what handsome quarterback of ours wins in ugly games? You know what I'm saying?
Hey, hold on. This is like ignorant, but Lamar is like the predator.
He is. He's a motherfucker. He's still
like with the dreads out and.
I'm not saying we're gonna stop him, but they're gonna put up 27 points. You know what I'm saying? 24, 27 points. Niners are just gonna get that too.
You know what too is like we are susceptible to the tight end position. You know what I mean? Not like Jimmy Graham's not in that conversation, obviously, but like someone like a Jacob Hollister got on us. Like, you know what I mean? Like, if you scheme your tight ends against us, and like that's their whole game. And then what's crazy is that like the safety play in the for the Rams is phenomenal. You know what I mean? So that's kind of why like. Also, if you remember, I was saying Ramsey. You know what I mean? Like, and ever since he's been with the Rams, they're putting on any quote unquote number one, obviously. And in this case, it was Hollywood. I remember Hollywood's first reception. It was a crossing route over the middle of the field, and he caught the ball, and he had maybe like a foot separation. And as soon as he caught the ball, that split second he took to gather the ball in, he got tackled. But it was just like, yo, I remember seeing that. I'm like, if Ramsey's gonna be on him all day, it's gonna be a long day for him. You know what I mean? And like, so that's how I feel.
I don't think Ramsey really followed him around. I think a couple of his touchdowns were where he wasn't even on him. Maybe he was beating zone coverage or something. But like,
I know one of them. I know his first one was. Okay, I might be wrong about that. I might be wrong. I was tropical. I was just loving it.
I know, but I do remember was up the seam. I don't know if I know
you're right, because he could have been.
The one he dropped Ramsey wasn't on him. I know that for a fact. So I don't know about the first one, but either way, I mean, he's going to be locked up on him at times.
Yeah, because I'm curious to see how we handle him. You know what I mean? Like, I'm curious to see how we handle him. Also, like,
it's going to be curious to see a lot of things. I think there's going to be a lot taken away from that game.
You got a revenge. You got like a revenge narrative too with Greg Roman. You know what I mean?
There's a lot of juice in that game. Baltimore will be ready, but I think it's a little bit of a letdown compared to what they just did tonight. I guess is
tonight.
I think we can get them.
It looked like how they beat up the Dolphins.
Pretty much, yeah.
Like the Rams
are bad.
I'm embarrassed for them. I'm embarrassed for them.
Yeah, they're pretty much they're a sinking ship right now. We'll see if they scrap together something. But
why
the next game we're gonna move to for the recap.
But move the next game, Goo.
Yes, you already know. It's the Patriots and Cowboys. It's kind of an ugly game. 13-9, Patriots get it done, but it was kind of an ugly game. You got any takeaways from that?
Yeah. Don't be discouraged off of the number one overall offense versus the number one overall defense. Like that, and then you add the rain in there. You know what? I'll tell you this much: the Cowboys' defense, that's a motherfucker. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I think a lot of people, they're really available. I would go and acquire them. You know what I'm saying? Because they have a nice little stretch coming up. You know what I mean? They first of all, they even started with Thanksgiving against Josh Allen, who's like a bumbling, beautiful idiot. He's just a gorgeous idiot. You know what I mean? I love the idiocy. You know what I mean? Because he does, right? So you got that going. You got I don't even know specifically the rest of the schedule. I just remember I took a gander at it. Yo, can you hear me? Oh shit, hold on one second. I don't know what the fuck happened to you. You went all... There you are.
I swear it wasn't me, bro.
You know what's crazy, bro?
Who's your tech support over there?
I'm alone here. The Jamaicans have abandoned me. And like, bro,
sure the fuck have.
Yeah, and I got, you know what I mean? Like, it's something took you off a speaker. That's freaky.
All right, well, just keep an eye out. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I mean, you know what I'm saying? Like, you
so
know.
you like the Cowboys, the defense going forward?
Yeah, and okay, also, you know, Cooper, you know, he's don't be discouraged off of him, Cooper owners. I mean, like, if this was still trade season, if it was, you know what I mean? Like, I'm so trying to trade for Cooper, you know what I mean? He's one of those dudes, he's so
buy low after that?
Yeah, but you know what I'm saying? It's not happening, you know what I'm saying? Because, you know.
This game's kind of like an outlier to me. You kind of just throw this one out a little bit. I told you going in, I hated Cooper this week. I benched him. I told you in one of my standard leagues.
Yep.
So, I mean, nobody really.
Who'd you bench him for? Curious.
In the end, it was Jalen Samuels.
Okay.
So, I mean, yeah, it was. I mean, he still. I did
better than Coop?
Better than Coop, obviously. But the only takeaway I really saw from this game was, I mean, I don't want to try to make it like I'm resurrecting him, but I liked the way Stoney Michel was running early in that game, and he's actually like running, being somewhat elusive. And getting yards, 20 for 85 was nice. He's always been touchdown dependent. So if he ain't getting his touchdowns, he ain't getting his value.
He's always been 15 plus carry dependent. You know what I mean? Like, he needs that 15 plus carries. Like, all the games that he's teetered around 90 to 100 yards on the ground, he had at least 20 touches. He's had like 18 carry games where he had like 90. You know what I mean? Like, he needs that volume because he's not catching the ball. Hold on. Yo, my bad.
There we go.
There he is.
We go.
What in the fucking fuck? You can hear me. That's the second time.
I can tell when it cuts out, though. I can tell.
Yeah. That's some shit. You know what?
All right.
Things like this can occur in the field.
That's what happens. We just keep moving on. We audible.
Okay, okay. Do you have any James White worries?
Yes, a lot actually. Thanks for asking.
Yeah, because I know you're a James White truther than a motherfucker.
I was. I thought with the offense being like struggling and like having less options, no Gronk this year. You know what I'm saying? Like, they would rely on him, and he put up the numbers last year. He produced, and this year they're just not giving him anything. It's like you're seeing Brandon Bolden and Rex Burkhead in there, and like they're just not throwing.
As long as they're healthy, right?
Right.
As long as they're healthy,
just not throwing to the running backs. I mean, Jacoby Myers got 9 targets, and Edelman gets 12 targets, and it's like you know what I'm saying? And then they get their deep shot guys, so they're just not giving it the targets anymore. And
I'll tell you this much: that kid Myers. Like, it's kind of hard to chase that because
it is hard because Sanu was out.
Yeah, but Sanu might be out for a number of weeks. But with the emergence of N'Keal Harry, you know what I'm saying, this Myers thing. But here's the thing too with Myers,
they like Myers too, though.
Yeah, they like him because he's undrafted. He's a gritty kid, special teams too, shit like that. Like, but here's the thing with Myers is. They liked it, the matchup. I said liked it. They liked it, the matchup against Wouzier. So it's like they just kept abusing that matchup. Like,
yeah, and they don't really take many deep shots on anymore. So the Patriots' offense is just a lot of short, passes. So there's going to be a lot of targets that add up when you do that. So I mean, you get some cheap money.
Yeah, and their linebacker game with the Cowboys is pretty vicious. So it's like. I think that kind of correlated with the James White, it just makes me feel like teams are going in this year just like where they're just like, I don't know if they're trying to take away James White or just the running backs and the passing. I don't know what it is. But it's just like they're not doing it this year. I'm benching him if I got him. I don't feel good about it. I mean, I don't know. Wow, that's bold.
If I had like a Raheem Mostert. And I knew Matt Breida was going to be out.
Hold on, that's your man, $100,000.
Not no more, bro. It's a bust. Hey, I was wrong about the whole Sony Michel and James White thing. They didn't live up to what I thought they were going to be. So I mean, I ain't afraid to admit when I'm wrong, but I can't just ride that ship to the death. Like,
well, maybe Isaiah Wynn. maybe him coming back. I mean, he was a high draft pick for them. Maybe him coming back on that line, it could like.
Yeah, and there's one thing I do know: when it does get cold, is when the Patriots start running the ball.
Yeah.
And it was cold, and that's the best I've seen Sony Michel look kind of like all year, like actually running, like juking and cutting and shit, like instead of just running into the line and falling down.
Zone run schemes are successful against them, against the Cowboys, and they should know this. They weren't running too many zone run schemes or getting like their running backs into open space, and I don't know. It was just you're right. It was an outlier.
Yeah, the weather kind of just kind of killed it all. It made the game plan kind of predictable on all fronts. So I wasn't like that's why I'm not too worried.
I for one think Harry's an ad though.
Yeah, he's definite,
Yeah.
especially if Sanu is going to be out for a while. Like I said, they're not relying on the running backs in the passing game. They're giving it to their plotters, their 15, 20 times, and then they're just throwing on a bunch of short shit. So
it's so difficult to gauge the Patriots, as it always is, right? But like
it's all Edelman, really. Edelman's been the one thing.
No,
that's
but
consistent.
especially in this day and age, this Patriots, because they bank on their defense so tough. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah, they always have, but they bank on running the football now.
But yeah, I mean, I know that, but I'm just saying, like, they have the number one defense. Like, these guys are saving them in games, time and time again.
Oh yeah, 100%. You have to have a good defense in the NFL. You know what I'm saying?
But I'm saying they have the defense.
The formula is play defense and run the football, and they haven't ran it very well, which is why they're struggling. But that's what they're going to do. That's what they do when it gets cold. Come December,
Side note, that's kind of the success that the Ravens are having, where it's like
absolutely, it's all run,
smash mouth football.
Yeah, it's 40 fucking runs versus 20 passes. It's like we're gonna run it up your ass.
You'll be surprised, playmakers. We're fantasy quote unquote analysts, and we love this quote unquote pass friendly league. But like teams that win games, you know what I'm saying? Good defense, running the ball. Teams that win Super Bowls, I mean, teams that can run the ball and play good defense, and when you run the ball effectively, that passing game opens up like a bitch. You know what I mean?
Absolutely. That's why like, Lamar is able to.
Hey, he's so efficient.
Of course,
the efficiency
you're so geared up to stop the run.
Exactly.
That you're getting wide open looks every time that you actually drop back to pass it, bro. Because literally you can run it the whole game and beat them. Your passing is a luxury almost at that point, and that's why it's so effective.
Okay, real quick, do you think if Dak would have won this game, he could be solidified as the MVP in the MVP conversation? Because like,
for sure, he would have been talked. He would have been. He would have been talked about as third.
Because he has all the numbers.
Oh yeah, he's already actually before this game was being talked about as the third guy. Just by but
that would have solidified him. Like you would have had beating the Patriots under his belt, because that's what Louisville Lamar has on top of the numbers. Like
he has that big win.
Because also it's like if you're a Cowboy, you have the pressure of being on national television like every week, basically. You know what I mean? Where it's like you're in the primetime slot like more than any other team because you're America's team, quote unquote. But then it's like Louisville Lamar. This was the first primetime matchup against the Rams. You know what I mean? And like now the nation got to see it. So now it's like, now it's like, because on all them betting sites too, you could bet on this shit. You know what I mean? Like the MVP shit. You know what I mean? And like he's, it's been Russell Wilson, as the front runner, but like, it's clear the way for Louisville for sure. Especially after.
Oh yeah, front runner. He's the front runner. You can ask Mark Ingram if you don't believe me.
You know what I'm saying? I hate that god awful Mark Ingram.
He's a fucking beast this year, bro.
Oh yeah, he is. I just can't stand him. All right, but check this out. Hit me with the next game, Goo, and go ahead and do your thing. I got to go. I got to take a piss.
You're really tropical today. Let's go. I'm trying to see what game I really want to talk about next.
Just make sure because I know we're going out of order. Just make sure we hit them all.
Oh yes, sir. You got it, Captain. Let's see here. We're going to go to the great game, Saints Panthers. Hell of a game there. Drew Brees came back on the fantasy map after his dud last week. Put up what did he throw? Like 311, 3 tuggies. Did throw the pick. Alvin Kamara, a bit of a disappointment in this one. 54 yards rushing. He did come through with the 9 catches for the 48 yards. So, I mean, he got his floor. You'll take that, obviously, in a PPR league. Michael Thomas, beast. DJ Moore was the fucking star of this game over the 6 for 126, 2 touchdowns. CMC did CMC things. It was Kyle Allen. He was a DFS star. She threw him out there. So, I mean, it was a lot of action in that game. Fun to watch. Joey Sly, man, what the fuck, man? You disrespecting my name. Missing 2 extra points. I mean, cost Carolina the game. As a Niner fan, I was kind of hoping that the Panthers did pull that one off at the end and just went in. And they had a chance to, and they blew it. And now, that game going into New Orleans is going to be even that more important coming in. I sound like you're back, but either way.
No, I was gonna let you keep going. I was gonna let you keep talking so I could find out what game we're on without
We're on this. Oh yeah, I just ran through some of the numbers on the Saints Panthers game and how Carolina basically blew an opportunity to give the Niners an even bigger cushion going in to that matchup in New Orleans. But that's selfish reasons.
You know what though?
And I cursed Joey Sly for fucking up my name. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that son of a bitch.
He wasn't very sly.
He has hell of a name too, Sly.
I know. I needed him to hit those.
Hey, he's Stallone's. He's Stallone's estranged son.
Stop it. Is that real?
No, because Sylvester Stallone.
I'll believe anything. I wanted to believe that more than
well, because Sylvester Stallone. He's in his twilight years, and he's fucked the whole world. He's been here and there. So there's a good chance that we're all Stallone's children. You know what I mean? But they call him Sly. You know what I mean? That's, Sly Stallone. You know what I mean?
I get it now. Okay. Yeah. Fair enough. But
hold on.
As for the game, though, give me your what do you have for me?
All right, check us out, Playmakers. I hope you guys actually went down the Kyle Allen streaming route. Because we did mention him, if he wanted to go back to the well, because I said in the week before, and he didn't do shit against the revised quote unquote Atlanta defense, right? But then he goes up against the Saints, and was Marshawn Lattimore active in this game?
I think he did play. Let me see.
Either way,
Jerry Cook came back in a big way.
Oh
too.
yeah, and DJ
Moore. They were looking for him early and often.
DJ Moore, remember we talked about him. A lot on this show, and
Lattimore's not on the stat sheet. That's for sure.
Yeah,
I don't think he played.
Yeah, okay, good. So this because I expected him not to play because he was still dealing with a hamstring. Either way, Kyle Allen, he showed me something because he went on this whole they were winning in the absence of Cam. And then they started hitting these brick walls. You know what I'm saying? Because their defense wasn't compensating for because CMC will always compensate for whatever the fuck any of these motherfuckers bring to the table. You know what I mean? Because CMC is that guy. God fucking damn it. This is the time where I would have been called on the Jamaicans.
9 catches and 2 touchdowns.
I know, that seems like a walk in that's just a day in the office.
Yeah, and he didn't do it. He had 64 rushing yards, and he still put up.
DJ Moore is the story to me, though.
Yes, that's what I said coming in. 6 for 126, 2 touchdowns. Yep. He was the star of the game.
Because he's not scoring touchdowns with all this phenomenal production he's doing. He's just been missing the tugs, and he got 2 of them. He probably, he's a friend of the show. He's like, oh yeah, no touchdowns.
I love that. It's time. It's time now.
Oh yeah.
Yes, also, they're feeding him. He clearly has separated himself from Curtis Samuel. They were kind of going into this year, but now it's not even close. DJ Moore he looks good out there.
You know what though? Curtis Samuel still steady gets deep shots and red zone targets.
He gets a few carries too, but he doesn't catch shit.
So he sucks.
He does suck.
I mean, I don't want to say he sucks.
He might be a glorified Tavon Austin.
You know what I mean? That's horrible.
you know what I mean? Just
I know.
Player.
Just because what Tavon
Austin, when he was all those guys come out and they make him run routes at first, and then you realize these guys suck. It's just
Tavon Austin is the homeless man's Percy Harvin.
Basically, it's all the same mold. You know what I mean? The kick returner. runner guy you give at the end around the jet sweep, all that shit. So I'm fucking.
I think they started trying to call them the OWs, the offensive weapons. Have you ever heard that term?
No.
You never heard that term?
No.
You know why? Because it didn't stick. But you know your Cordero Pattersons, Cordarrelle. Excuse me. Your Cordero Pattersons, your Percy Harvins, your Tavon Austins, Tyreek Hill. They try to say he would have been one of those types, but then he actually could run routes, and you know what I mean. And like he's with Andy Reid, who's smart. You know what I mean? We're like, yeah, but offensive weapons, yeah, like okay. Do you remember? His name was Shoelace.
Shoelace,
Denard Robinson, yeah.
Hell yes. RB wide receiver eligible.
Yes, he's of that ilk. He's an OW. He's an offensive weapon. You
Shoelace.
Yes, yeah. Bro. That's why that term never stuck. You know what I mean? Because of the
I fucked with some Shoelace for a minute. Don't get it. He was a thing for like.
Oh, I love Shoelace.
He was a good thing for like maybe 3 weeks. I don't know. But all right, back to the game though. Saints Panthers. Are you worried? I think the only question I ask is, are you worried as an Alvin Kamara owner that Latavius Murray is just going to snake you the rest of the way?
No, because it was like, I mean, on the pod last week, I said I like both of these running backs in this matchup because it was the matchup. And here's the thing is like, I think if the game wasn't as close as it was, we would have seen more Murray. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like Alvin Kamara is one of those guys is like, he very well could be still dealing with something, just not enough to be considered questionable. You know what I mean? Because
Drew Brees looked good too coming back. He looked like he was. He was confident in the pocket. He was out there firing. So. Oh yeah,
I mean, coming off a stinker, against was it Atlanta last week? No, it was 2 weeks ago.
It was Atlanta. Yeah.
It was. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, they're hot.
Exactly. Yeah, they almost blew this game too. So, but it was they pulled it out. That's what good teams do. We're gonna move on to the fantasy juicy game.
Oh, real quick.
Yeah.
Jared Cook. Okay, I hate him for the record. I would boo him right now if our fucking technical difficulties. I would boo this motherfucker. Boo! I hate Jared Cook, but in a tight end landscape, he's killing it right now. Like, you know what I mean? Like, you're not, except minus the weeks that he was hurt and not playing, he's been consistent.
This seems like, it felt to me like it was his first game like this he's had in a while. Am I wrong or right?
No, it's just because we're not. Yeah, look at his. Go ahead, check his stat line now. I'm saying this too because
he got a touchdown last week, 2 for 33, and then he had a 6 for 74 game. Okay, so he got 4 touchdowns in his last 5 games.
Yeah,
so yes,
bro.
You're right. But he has played Tampa twice and Carolina once.
Okay, we'll take it.
Kind of cush matchups with Atlanta in there, and he has
Atlanta coming up. This is another good matchup. He also has the Niners coming up, which is, theoretically the one spot you could, attack us, in our secondary. So it's like, he has some joints coming up that you'll be confident rolling them out there, especially for a guy that you for sure got in the late. If you're not a fucking idiot, you got him.
Someone probably dropped him.
No, I'm saying, you might even got him off the waiver. I'm just saying, like, even if you had drafted the cat, you know what I mean? Like, you got him late, you know what I'm saying? Because of the mystery. Or unless there's some dumbass Saints truther, you know what I mean? Either way, I mean, as compared to, like in week 1, we thought T.J. Hawkinson was going to be a thing. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah. Oh, yeah.
Hey, look, I'm not trying to say this by any means to shaft you at all, but Darren Waller, like, we're really disappointed right now.
No, I'm worried. Big time.
Like, he went from being one of the greatest values to it's like, dude, do I have a better option right now? You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, absolutely.
Like, you know what I'm saying?
Happening.
Where Jared Cook, the horrible Jared Cook, is actually been, like, viable. As long as he's healthy. In an offense that has so many fucking weapons. It's just because,
I mean, when it comes to the red zone, though, it's pretty much him and Michael Thomas in the passing game.
It's true.
It's not, you get the little gadget Ted Ginn plays, or you see Traquan score, but
Yeah.
I saw them. Look, Jerry Cook missed 2 red zone targets.
Oh yeah. He would have like 4 touchdowns.
Right. I mean, yeah, they were looking for him over there. So it's like he's going to get multiple shots. He's the guy like they'll like that matchup. They'll exploit it. So yeah, I like that. I like that Jerry Cook call a lot moving forward. We're going to move forward. We're going to move on to Cleveland, where your boys got chubby on them, and the Browns
so
put
many
up
Jamaican
41
horns right here.
41 on the Dolphins. The Magic Man, he put up 24 points. You know what I'm saying?
You gotta love the Magic Man. You gotta love him. I fucking love him.
He looks like he's getting choked out by his chin strap.
It was his birthday.
It really was.
Yeah.
He got down. He got down for his birthday. You know what I'm saying? But the Browns really was the real story of that game. Pretty much everyone on that team feasted. You know what I'm saying? Jarvis Landry 10 for 148 and 2 tugs. OBJ 84 yards and a touchdown. Chubster went over for a buck 06 and a touchdown.
Yep. Got the garbage time.
Got 58 yards receiving too. You know what I'm saying? That was nice to see him get some catches. It's like they did what they wanted over there in this game. Everyone got to get, you know what I'm saying, have their fun. It was like a gangbang in Miami. You know what I'm saying?
But also, like, you
DFS, he was loving that.
Hey, more importantly, the targets to Chubb was important because you can't look one dimensional now with Hunt out there. Also, you can't be like, all right, well, Chubb just runs the ball. You know what I mean? Like, they need to continue. Remember before Hunt came back too. I remember we had a conversation on the pod where I was like, he's getting an average of 2 targets a game. Like, and if that goes away, it's bad. You know what I mean? Like, at least give him. Plus, this was a plus matchup. You know what I mean? I mean, this was like a no-brainer. Like,
yeah, Baker did his thing too. 327 and 3 touchdowns. So I mean, it was nice to see. I mean, like I told you earlier, that Cleveland been waiting all year for this game. So it was. They circled this game on the map. It's like they forgot about all the other ones, kind of. And this is. They're going to play free and loose, though. So if they play free and loose like that, they're kind of a dangerous team. You know what I'm saying? But when they had all that pressure and expectation and, like, you know.
Well, they got the Steelers, correct? Coming up?
I think so.
Okay, well, yeah, but that's not really important right now. Let's go back to this game. So, you got Gesicki. You know, he was one of our tight end streams of the week. You know what I mean? He did his thing. And when I say did his thing, he got his first touchdown catch. And, you know, that was expected. The Browns are historically bad against the tight end. You know, you had your man, Devontae Parker. You know what I mean?
He's a real thing for the rest of the year.
You said that. And he continues to, like, just make sure every other option just dies. Albert Wilson got hurt in this game. So it's like, just everything that happens just continues to, like, just me and you, Magic Man. That's what Parker says. Just me and you. You know, fuck all these other guys.
They're going to let him throw it so much.
No, for real.
And that's the best thing for them. You know what I'm saying? When it was Josh Rosen in there, you want him to throw it less. But the Magic Man, 40 times a game. Let's go.
Oh, yeah. I fucking love the Magic Man, dude.
All right, so...
Like, you know what's crazy, bro? I need to look this up because if it was his birthday, right? Bro, he's a Sagittarius like me. I fucking love that. And he's on the cusp. If that's his birthday, he's on the cusp. So that means he got some of that Scorpio-ism in him too. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that's like if me that's like if me and you had a football child. You know what I mean? It would be the Magic Man.
I don't know if the beard would be that strong. I don't know.
You're right. But the man bun would be on fire. You know what I mean?
Now you're talking.
Yeah. Yeah, but okay. Right. In that game, notable. I love the amount. I love the target volume and distribution to the receivers in general on the Cleveland Browns, because I feel like every week they try the Kitchens would like out coach himself. You know what I mean? Like, he would have these game plans that just don't work, and then when they don't work, they have nothing. They don't know what to do. And like this was like kind of a game they needed where it's like they could kind of test things out in real game time, because I'm still on the side of like no real game action till week 1 with OBJ. You know what I mean? And in this past 4 weeks we've seen them like correctly acclimate him. Like they were like at one point they're like, you know what, dude, he's been on this team long enough. We should double-digit target this motherfucker. Like, you know what I mean? Like, make it a point. Because at least if you're making a point to do that, it's gonna open up everything else underneath. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, I mean, Jarvis Landry got the 13 targets. OBJ got 10. I mean, as long as they'll
still double digits is what I'm saying, though.
As long as they're taking advantage. What they did was they actually took advantage of Landry's matchup, and then it opens it up for OBJ, which I think earlier in the year they were focusing on OBJ, and then it was like, that's too obvious. Mm-hmm. Landry gets secondary. So Landry getting the bulk of the targets is better for OBJ because he just needs more efficient targets, not more.
Yeah, you know and Landry lives in the shorter A dot too, so you know what I mean.
Yeah,
like
and with the bad line, like you said over there, and like I mean Baker's not struggling a little bit. Just get those quick passes out. That opens it up for the offense. And look at what I'm saying.
I just want to say, as a proud Nick Chubb owner, I just want to say I love you, Nick Chubb, and but I also want to say that I feel great with how this last 3-week game sample with Hunt. It's like, if we could see this continue, fuck yeah, because it just makes Hunt like James White-esque, and it keeps Nick Chubb with being the focal point in the run game, and like eventually he'll sprinkle in a couple targets. You know what I mean? Like, I need that.
Oh yeah,
we need that,
absolutely. Oh yeah. Let's see. We're gonna move on to Atlanta, where your boy Infamous.
Woo! Oh my God! There's so many Jamaican horses that would be going off right now. First of all, we got my boy. He's not even famous Jameis. Infamous Jameis Winston. This motherfucker came out, and you know what he said? He said, "Look, guys, y'all have seen me try to eat W's and shit. Look at, we are who we are." He said straight up, "We are who we are." And you know what? We're going to go right out there, and our first possession, we're going to go ahead and turn this ball over. What? What? Trust me. He said, trust me. We're going to get this thing out the way early. So, right? Because
that's great.
He literally, because come on. He's good for like 4 of these bitches. He's good for like 4 of these turnovers. But they usually come in the second half when it's like it counts. So he was like, you know what, we're just going to go ahead, get these turnovers out the way early. He only had 2 of them.
Yeah, and they were quick. He was on pace for 8 turnovers at one point.
And if we could limit him to 2 turnovers a game, you know what I mean? I mean, because he was averaging like 4.
He's top 5.
Yeah, bro.
Because he's throwing 300 every week, damn near.
And
every week.
And playmakers. This is a sneaky prop bet every week. Just look at the rushing prop bet that they have for Jameis Winston. It's usually going to be around 20 or some odd rushing yards. Go ahead and pound that over every week. That's another one I told you. Remember I told you I've been fucking with these prop bets?
Yeah.
Yeah, 3 weeks straight. I just been taking the over because they've been showing them no respect. I remember a couple weeks ago it was like 19 yards rushing. I was like, oh, we're taking that.
And like, he had 8 rushes in this game, 38 yards.
Because you know why? Instead of like things are breaking down and he throws a outlandish pick, he's just running with it. Which is amazing.
I thought Atlanta would really gonna apply some pressure on him and turn him over at least 3-4 times. But I mean, he turned it around. I mean, Ronald Jones even showed up. He looked good, 50 yards and a touchdown over there.
Yeah.
Chris Godwin, go ahead. Your boy. He was the guy.
Jamaicans. This motherfucker. Listen, all we gotta say about Chris Godwin is he has God and win in his name, and that's it. Enough said.
That's all that matters. If you were a Mike Evans DFS guy, you were pissed you spent a little extra for him instead of Godwin.
But also, that's how they schemed it, though. They schemed it for Mike Evans. They schemed taking him out of the game. You know what I mean? And obviously they're going to play the Jacksonville Jaguars next week. And A.J. Boye, there's no way he doesn't stick to Mike Evans. So I love Godwin again. Not that we don't love him every week, But we needed this because Godwin's been mad quiet. And Jameis stays loud. He stays infamous every week. So, Godwin being a part of the party.
One of those two guys is going to be, it's going to blow up every week, basically.
Yeah, but in this case, dog, like Godwin being back in the party, it felt great.
Absolutely. It was amazing.
Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Cameron Brate, total dud.
Complete dud.
What the fuck? Like, you know what? It just goes back to like Arians being like, remember when they played like what? Well, first of all, what production have we seen from tight ends? Not really much in that offense, but like when they played against the Cardinals, it was like I was like Bruce Arians is a smart enough coach. They're gonna game script plays for the tight end. You know what I mean? But see, other than that, they're not playing the Cardinals every week, and like so it's like this system's not gonna have. It's like, so I'm just saying all that to say I'm not fooling with no tight ends from there ever. Maybe DraftKings tournament shit or FanDuel tournament plays. You know what I mean? But
yeah, on the other side of the ball over there, Matt Ryan completely flopped. 271 and a pick, no touchdowns. The running game didn't do shit. Ollison was the guy to own. You started anybody, he snaked a touchdown. But Calvin Ridley, man, 14 targets. He had 85 yards, a touchdown. Russell Gage outplayed Julio with 8 catches for 76.
Well,
Julio had his 5 for 68. He did get hurt.
Yeah, I was going to say, in a week where there's not too many notable injuries, right, for skill positions, he's definitely at the top of the list. 1 to 10. Hey, 1 to 5. 5 being the worst. 1 to 5. How worried are you about Julio? Factoring the injury, factoring in the record of the team, factoring in you know what I mean? He's obviously going to show up for the game. Maybe they held him out because they know they're going to play a big game on Thursday.
Julio didn't practice today, but it wasn't an actual practice. Let's see. As a fantasy owner, for me, I would be worried. He hasn't produced really the elite numbers, but I mean, he did get his floor, 5 for 68. You'll take the 11, 12 points in a bad game. It was supposed to be a blow-up game though, so I mean, it was a little disappointing. But I mean, in my situation, I don't really need him next week, so I'd rather him get right and then hope that he shows up and gets a bunch of fantasy garbage in like Julio fashion. The last 3 games and really blow up his numbers, but I don't know. He hasn't really done it this year, so he's actually been all right. So I'm not worried. He's just got to get healthy. If he's missing time, then obviously that's all bad. But you're gonna roll him out at this point.
The tight end backup guy did some shit in this game.
The tight end who Graham?
Yeah.
I don't even know. He got 1 catch, 1 for 53. I'm looking at. It's all Calvin Ridley highlight, which I love.
No, I'm just saying,
really
in this system, you know what I mean? Where the tight end.
Oh, Blake, 9 targets. That's the guy you're talking about.
Yes, Blake Graham.
No. See, let's see, what's his name?
Graham got the touchdown.
Christian Blake, 9 targets though.
Yeah.
No, he didn't get a touchdown, but he got.
But the other guy. Catch. There was a big touchdown from.
Only one touchdown, and it went to Calvin Ridley.
Yeah, that's right. Never mind. You're right, and that was with Sean. Ooh,
right, but this guy got 9 targets.
How do you feel about Matt Ryan? Are you worried about him at all? I mean, this was like a fat brick wall to run into because he's been ultra consistent.
Yeah, I can't really tell. Atlanta's just shit. So I mean, I would cut ties with him if I have a better option.
Single QB league, you
like in my other league, I got Deshaun Watson. I'm ready to let go of Matt Ryan at this point. Just put all my faith in Deshaun Watson going forward through the stretch run, get through this New England matchup, and then you got the playoffs. But Matt Ryan, it's kind of troublesome because it's like the yardage will always be there, but it's just if the offense can't score, it's bad. If it gets Tampa, then you're supposed to show up at home. After looking so good the last few weeks. Yeah. So I'm just worried about Atlanta, period. So obviously, Julio, Ridley, you're going to roll those guys out. But Matt Ryan, you'll start to think about it.
In their run game, just stay away from all of them, huh?
Oh, yeah. Oh yeah, those are desperation plays. You know, I mean,
Yeah.
if Freeman comes back, I don't know. You might want to play him, but like,
I don't think he's coming back.
you don't think he's coming back?
Nah. To be honest with you.
I like that call.
Why come back?
You think everyone in Atlanta is just going to mail it in? Call it a year?
After this game, after the Saints game, because they show, they hate the Saints. You know what I mean?
So you think they'll show up against the Saints?
Oh, of course.
But that's the classic Falcons. When there's nothing on the line and there's nothing to play for, that's when they'll really start balling.
And it's Thanksgiving, it's national coverage. You know what I mean? Oh yeah. Fuck
Freeman
yeah.
did practice today.
Did he? Okay, I returned.
He was limited. It says limited, so.
That's good enough, though.
So we'll see. We'll check tomorrow when they see what really happens there. But all right, we're gonna move off that game and let's see what was the next interesting game that I saw. Let me see here. The Jets put it on the Raiders. You want to talk about the Raiders?
I called that.
We didn't talk about that. You did call that one. I kind of thought the Raiders were going to show up. I was dead wrong. The Jets, Darnold Schwarzenegger, your boy.
Man,
he got off.
You know how I feel about my boy, the Terminator. And it was one of those. Okay, also in this game, my number one streaming tight end. I mean, I guess you could say 3 for 13 and a touchdown. Is great for your tight end. In PPR it was a smooth 10 points. You know what I mean? Like we'll take that. You know what I'm saying? Demaryius Thomas. This was the first game, because he's had like a floor of like 40 yards. I think this is the first game that he went beneath that. I don't remember his exact stat line, but he would have had.
He went 2 for 22 today or yesterday.
Yeah, because he had one that didn't count, and that was a touchdown. So he would have been like 3 for like 30 something with a touchdown, and so that one didn't count. But he's a guy too. Like if he's available, this is like quote unquote a waiver show. I'm fucking with him. Like I would go grab him up, especially playing against the Bengals. You know what I'm saying? My boy, the Green Bean. I love Robbie Anderson. Love the String Bean. You know what I'm saying?
Of course, right?
Yeah, he was doing String Bean things. You know what I mean? He's always like the deep look, right? But at the same time, you know what I mean? They hit, how about this? They hit him on the deep look. He goes down. He gets taken down before on the 1, and or within the 5 at least, and then they hit him off with a 1-yard touchdown. So yeah, it was on the 1, and so it was cool that seeing them use him in the red zone because, I'm a green bean truther. This guy can run routes. Like, don't just.
You love your vegetables.
Oh yeah, and you know what I'm saying. I hate it when they treat him like a vegetable and he just stays stagnant. It's like, you know what I mean? When people are in a coma, they say he's a vegetable, right? Like, I hate it when he's in a vegetative state. Let this motherfucker improve your health. You know what I mean? Let him bring you the nutrients. You know what I'm saying? The green bean. You know what I mean? Like,
let's see, who else showed up in this game? Le'Veon Bell did all right. He got his 108 yards, 5 catches, put up a 15. Not bad for him.
Love it.
You'll take it. But I mean, is this the kind of Jets team we're going to see the rest of the way? You think? Like
Can you fire off their schedule? I know they got the Bengals, right?
Let's see. Yeah, they do have the Bengals coming.
So I could properly answer this question. You know what I mean?
Let me see if I can find
because I'm loving these guys for the rest of the way. As options.
Cincinnati, Miami, Baltimore, Pittsburgh, Buffalo. So the next 2 matchups are great. The next 2 for sure. Baltimore, Pittsburgh, cool. I don't know if I love those as much.
Yeah.
Especially in the playoffs.
Yeah, Baltimore's trash a matchup for the Jets, right?
Right.
Let me rephrase that because it sounded like I said Baltimore's
not a good
trash.
Matchup.
Yeah, it's not a good matchup. And neither is Buffalo against the pass. That's like more so a great matchup for like Le'Veon Bell. You know what I mean? Wow, so they play them in week 15. They play the Bills.
No, they played Pittsburgh in 15, but the Bills in week 16.
Really? I thought the Bills played the Patriots.
Nope. They play the Jets week 16.
There's no way. For real.
I kid you not, my friend. I kid you not.
What?
So we'll see. I like them the next 2 weeks. We'll see what they do.
What time is the Bills-Patriots game?
When? Oh
Patriots
shit.
take on the Bills on December 21st,
See?
2019 at 1:30 p.m.
Oh, the 21st. Oh, you're right. They play them week 15. Okay, I guess you're right. I'm a little troubled. Okay.
It's okay. I wouldn't lie to you.
Okay. So in that game though, we'll get to the Raiders side. I mean, we've already kind of touched on our Darren Waller concerns. You know what I mean? I'll tell you this much: the Gazelle, he was just Tyrell Williams, but he had this one. It was like a 6-yard slant. Like he was probably like maybe 6 yards at most, right, from the line of scrimmage. It was a slant, and like it was like so well played, like it executed, and like it would have been like a 25-yarder to the house, like for sure. And the Gazelle just dropped it, and like after that play, everything like was just like it was just everything was that play. Just that was like defined their game from then on. You know what I mean? Like
it was their game was trash. Their game was absolutely trash. Like, everyone flopped on the team. There wasn't anybody that did anything worth mentioning. I will attribute it that it was the West Coast team going east. And that this is a little bit of a throw off for the Raiders, but I mean they had to come back to reality. They're not like an elite team by any means.
No, not at all. But they're one of the pleasantly.
They're a good team.
They're one of the pleasantly surprising teams, though, where it's like, you know what I mean? Everything they do, you're pleasantly surprised. But when they take a L like this to a team like that, you're like, oh, that's right, that's who they are. You know what I mean? Like, isn't that funny? It's like you're more pleasantly surprised when they do shit that you don't expect. But when they lose like this to the Jets, you're like, oh, I knew that. You know what I mean? Like, hindsight's like, I fucking knew it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, we'll see how they rebound coming up. They got Kansas City. That'll be tough for them. But, I mean, if Derek Carr can put up decent numbers like passing, then, I'll feel better about the baller. But
this game is in Kansas City, and historically,
never good.
Never for Derek Carr. He's never. I don't even think he's thrown over 200 yards ever in KC. I mean, that's me ballparking. That's not an exact figure, but my version is better. You know what I mean? And
all right, so let me see. What you got?
Which for Derek Carr?
Yeah.
Oh, I don't think he's thrown over 200 yards ever in Kansas City.
Is that a fact?
I mean, like I said, I said this. Don't quote me, because I'm just throwing out some Bogart shit. But my version's better. You know what I mean?
All right, so I like this version of the Tennessee Titans a lot better with Ryan Tannehill.
Oh yeah,
at the helm.
Jim making noise,
bro. 14 of 18 for 259 yards, 2 touchdowns, 2 running. Man, it's like Derrick Henry beast, man. The Titans are looking like a playoff team.
The efficiency
looking like a 10-win team, like someone called.
Oh yeah, oh yeah.
Just wanted to point that out.
Hey man, I appreciate you because I don't do it for the credit. Or do I? You know what I mean? Like, no, but the respect of my peers, especially my brother from another steamboat, you know what I mean? Because the steamboat, he'll bring me around on things. And like, it's a win in itself that I could bring you around on certain things I say, you know what I mean? Because it always sounds like madness. Like, Chargers are going to be bad and Tennessee's going to be good. Like, that sounds madness, you know what I mean?
Oh yeah, that was one of the ones. Even you were kind of surprised too, where you're like, man, I don't know, but I'm crazy, but I got him at 10 wins.
I had the Chargers at 8-8, remember? And then like on episode 1, you had brought me around and like, you're right, dude. I worked them up to 10-6 because it was because it was like this. I remember one of the games was one of the Broncos. Like I had them splitting with the Broncos. And then I was like, you know what? They'll probably beat them both. So that'll put them at 9-7. And then I have them splitting with the Chiefs. Where I was like, all right. Because originally I had the Chiefs beating them twice. You know what I mean? Because with Spagnola there, you're going to send a lot of pass rush. Shit we saw down a couple Mondays ago. You know what I mean?
Yep.
It was like, that's what that coordinator is going to do. He's going to send pass rush, especially when the opposing offense has a bad line. And this line is so bad for the Chargers. But, like, anyways, back to Tennessee. I mean, bro, the fucking Tannehill is, like, amazing. Because I love a kid who was in a system for hella long. And we're talking about, like, he was in a system. I couldn't even tell you who he was with. And then I remember they brought in, like, Bill Lazor. You remember him?
Yes, I do.
And Bill Lazor.
They acted like Bill Lazor was fucking somebody. That's the only time I ever heard of Bill Lazor. And he wasn't shit.
Because he fucked with
Wasn't
Chip
he with
Kelly.
Cincinnati? I think he might have no, he was with Chip Kelly.
He was a Chip Kelly, like, staff member.
No wonder he sucked.
Yeah, and then they brought in Adam Gaze, who was like the first Sean McVay before there was a McVay, you know what I mean? Like, and then, like, he got them to the playoffs where it was like, and you know what I used to call Tannehill before? I used to call him the extremely poor man's Alex Smith.
Yeah, there you go.
Right? That's
Great
pretty
comp.
good, right?
It's a good comp.
He was a guy that, like, never stretched the field, just everything was safe, didn't really turn it over, and every now and then he'll run. You know what I mean?
Yeah, has a little bit of wheels.
Yeah, and bro, like, coming off the ACL, you know what I mean? Like, you know, last year it was trash because he's coming off the ACL, and like, he was coming off the ACL, and like, you know, he fit the backup role, and that was it. You know what I mean? Because like the recovery shit, and like now he's fully recovered, and you know what? He was smart. He was like, you know, when you trade a player, you know, like, especially if you're a quarterback or something like that, right? You're gonna, or like an Antonio Brown, you know what I mean? Because remember, at one point, Antonio Brown was traded to the Bills, and he was like, "No, I'm not going there." You know what I mean? Right? Because you're gonna have to run it by your man. It's not like Marcus Peters, where you're like, "Hey, Marcus Peters, you've been traded." What? Like, you know what I mean? When you're a quarterback or a skill position player, they're gonna have to run it by you because it's just one of those things you can't go over there and not uphold your side of the trade. So in this case, he was like, "Hey, Tennessee's interested in you." "Oh yeah, I'm going." Yeah, I'm going. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. He watched like 30 seconds of Mariota film. Oh yeah. Send me there. I'm gonna get that job.
Oh, of course.
Oh yeah. And you know me, like, there was a time in my life I was a Mariota truther. But playmakers, we all reserve the right to change our mind. And it was one of those things I was like so off Mariota that when they traded for Tannehill, I was like, oh, he's coming. And he's gonna make everyone viable there. You know what I mean?
Yeah, AJ Brown was viable, 4 for 135 in the touchdown. No one else has really did that much, but it was all Derrick Henry.
It was efficiency. We're talking 14 for 18 from Tannehill. It was as efficient as you can get. Coming off a bye week, like all those things.
They had their way with them. Jacksonville, though, Leonard Fournette, man, 12 targets, 9 receptions. He had 2 touchdowns, 160 total yards.
Love Leonard Fournette.
Wow.
The whole time I'm watching the game, first of all, playmakers, I have no Leonard Fournette anywhere. And I remember even telling you, Goo, I was like, hey, if you got an extra spot in any of your leagues, just go ahead and pick up Raquel Armstead. Because coach speak is real. They were like, we need to get back to Leonard Fournette being that guy. Being that not even workhorse. They needed the bell cow out of this motherfucker. And we seen it. And like, I'm watching him get this extremely heavy workload, even in the losing effort. They're like still running the ball with him. It was just like, yes, just hurt him somehow. You know what I mean? Like, because I have Armstead everywhere. Now I'm going to release him. I'm going to release Armstead everywhere I have him and then pick him up on a Friday when he clears.
Do it again.
Yeah,
so I'm going to say this now. I would give it.
It's going to happen. Leonard Fournette is going to die in fantasy somehow.
Maybe
I know.
We're on the home stretch. I'll give it 2 more weeks before Gardner Minshew's back in there. If it's going to be this.
You know what, dog?
Nick
Foles, he just be praying away, dog. He just be like, God, Jesus. You know, like, he just be praying, dog.
Dog, if he can't beat Tampa or San Diego in these next 2 weeks, and he's 0-4 as a starter, there are going to be a lot of Gardner Minshew.
Yo, they will pull him if he's not schooling the Tampa Bay secondary. They will pull him.
Matt Ryan couldn't do it, so it's not a lock. But he threw it 50 times against in this game, but they were down, getting blown out the whole time.
And he threw 45 times the week before, and they're like, we need to not have him throw it so much.
Right. That's not going to work.
Hilarious.
It's not going to work. All right,
okay,
so let's see.
Hit me with the next game, Goo, and I'm going to go visit the little boys' room.
Oh, no.
That didn't sound right.
You're on fire. You're going to visit the little boys' room. Come on, bro. Clean it up. I'll have to register you soon. Let's see here. Let me look at the game here I want to talk about now. We've been going through them here. Seahawks-Eagles. Why don't we look at that? That game, Seahawks pull it off 17-9. Russell Wilson, a very pedestrian 200 yards and a touchdown. Chris Carson, boo this man for his 8 for 26. He did catch a couple passes, 4 for 31. Bad game for Chris Carson. Rashad Penny showed up for 129 yards, touchdown. It's going to be a timeshare going forward now. I mean, Seattle looks like they're kind of. I mean, it was a tough matchup, a cold game against Philadelphia. Philadelphia was beat up. So it was just a grinder matchup. Philly on the other side looks bad. Carson Wentz, 250 yards and a touchdown, 2 picks. I mean, I don't know. Zach Ertz got his money. They just leaned on him with all the injuries they had at receiver. He had 12 for 91 and a garbage time touchdown. So I mean, that was an ugly game. Period. Not much to get excited about, unless you were pretty much a Zach Ertz guy, or if you magically started Rashad Penny this week because you only had a penny left.
Yeah, that game was really ugly.
It was. It just was. So, I mean, it was no one. Tyler Lockett flopped. DK Metcalf flopped. I was crazy when I was looking at some just DFS super flyers. Malik Turner was a guy where I was like, he's going to get a deep shot. I wonder if they'll connect on one. And that was it.
What is he? He's a receiver, right?
Yeah. But I've been seeing him.
We haven't seen no Jerron Browns or no David Moores. It's just been this guy Turner. In that rotation. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Aside from them having Gordon
all those guys
now.
get like one shot. They get one shot at it pretty much every game. And so sometimes he connected. David Moore got 1 for 31. That was it. Turner had 1 for 33, but his was a touchdown. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Josh Gordon, not on the map. Two targets, 1 catch, 10 yards. He's just a guy. I don't think if he was anything
he's
good.
He's a jag.
If he was anybody special, New England wouldn't have cut him. You know what I'm saying? So,
it's true.
He's on a roster, but I don't think if you're holding on to Josh Gordon still, you're dreaming. It's week 12.
That would have been a thing with the Niners.
No.
He had his career year with Shan. You know what I mean?
That's because there's so many dispensaries right down the street from
that's right. He was I'm not going there. But you know what? Seattle's the same.
It's true. Oh yeah. Oh, he knew what he was doing.
He was like, you know what? I'll go to either the Bay Area or Seattle. Yeah. Josh Gordon is getting high right now. Call back. I know, right? All right. How about this? Philly's defense.
Oh yes. Oh yeah. I don't know if we talked about it on the air or off the air.
No, you told me. This was on there.
Yeah. I said, I grabbed them a few weeks ago because their schedule gets juicy right now. After they got Miami, they got
Magic Man and company.
They got the Giants. They got Washington. The next 3 weeks, they do have Dallas after that, which is not a great matchup, but they can show up. And then they got the Giants again.
It's still an offense that's going to throw a ton. You know what I mean? So
and then they got the Giants again in week 16. So I love Philly D. I grabbed them in a couple leagues. Whoa. I grabbed Atlanta D in one of my leagues this week at just a last minute.
And this week you're going to release them.
They're gone, and I'm rolling with Philly the rest of the way.
I didn't buy into that Atlanta
Washington.
thing. Huh? I didn't buy into that Atlanta defense thing. It was interesting.
I should have started. Philly D was better. Should have started Philly.
All right, how about this? Is the Seattle game, the results of that game, is that a case of the West Coast team going East Coast? I mean, because Russell Wilson looked bad.
There could have been a little bit of that, yeah. That was a 10 o'clock game. Yeah, ugly weather out there. I'll buy into that. Russell Wilson didn't look good at all. So
it was
I
just, it
think
was
there's a
all
lot of
that one play, the flea
And
flicker.
the Philly D is a lot better than I think than maybe
True.
people realize. They
True.
have a vicious front seven, and
Oh,
they
yeah.
get after it. They get
Oh,
after
yeah.
it. You know what I mean? And with the secondary being improved, like Philly did win a Super Bowl a couple of years ago with an elite defense. So I mean, they still got it. They still got it there. So that's why it's like I'll attribute it to the.
I'm
to
surprised.
The weather, all like you said.
I'm surprised. I mean, I'm not surprised, but because the price tag was too high, but Jalen Ramsey would have fit really well there.
With Philly?
Yeah. Like, they needed a motherfucker like him.
They didn't want to pay that price, though.
No. And then, like, the Sean McVay era, he's dealt with not having a first, like, 2 years in a row. So he's like, fuck this. I don't even need them motherfuckers. You know what I mean?
They're gone.
First round.
They're all gone.
Yeah. Okay, well, Chris Carson, I'm concerned a little bit, but okay, here, how about this? Here's what Pete Carroll said, verbatim. Well, at least my version, but this is pretty much verbatim. He said, Chris Carson he's great. He does so much for this team, so we do so much for him. But Rashad Penny isn't not deserving more play next week. This is exactly what he said. That pisses me off.
Yeah, it'll be a timeshare this week going forward. At least this week. I mean, it's an NFL. It's a week-to-week thing. So, I mean...
But Chris Carson does so much that it goes unnoticed. Like, the pass protection, everything, bro.
Well, they got Minnesota coming up next week, which is going to be no cupcake matchup anyway. So,
no.
I mean, they're going to be in for it.
It's not a great
defense.
matchup. It's a funnel defense.
It's not a great matchup.
You can't run on them. You can pass on them.
If you're a Chris Carson owner, I'm definitely worried about him going into that matchup this week.
But you know what, though? I'll tell you this
especially with the new developments.
On a Monday night, no one better than I would want to have than Chris Carson if I needed something to happen on a Monday night.
I like that. And you know what? I like when there's motivation. They run hard. You know what I'm saying? That's when that's how he got to be Chris Carson.
This is definitely
he was undrafted, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So I'm saying, like, you know what I'm saying? Adversity is good for guys like Chris Carson.
Yeah. As long
I'm not mad at that.
And you know what though too is like, as long as Pete Carroll's just not going senile on us, you know what I mean? Like he's straight. He sees what we see. You know what I mean? I will. Receivers on the Eagles.
What receivers?
Exactly right.
There's nothing to talk about there.
Man. One thing.
I think I covered it with that. We're getting to the next game.
Hold on, one more thing, real quick.
You got something for me?
Yeah. You know, I'm a Carson Wentz truther, and I've came around to like the facts of, you know what I mean, like. But one thing you kept saying was his accuracy issues, and I was like, "Oh, you mean throwing at Nelson Aguilar?" And like, and here's the thing:
you saw that pass to Miles Sanders, the touchdown.
Yeah, dude.
That was just like one of the worst passes.
I had text you right away. It was like 10 yards above his head.
Yeah, that was one of the worst passes I've ever seen.
What the fuck was that? Like, what are you seeing? He saw him there open. You know what I mean? So because he threw it in his direction. Yeah, I was like, and
I could have made that pass.
All they do is use
an easy pass,
like Miles Sanders in the wheel route. Like that's his go-to. Like if you're talking Miles Sanders, because in our little, the sample size that we have, he's successful. Put him in the wheel route. And that was a wheel route that would have went straight to the head's house. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah. He's wildly inaccurate right now, and that's a problem. It's a big problem for them.
That's crazy, dog. Yeah, but you know what? Yeah, hit me with the next game, dude. I just wanted to throw that out there.
We got to run through them. We're getting ready for overtime, it looks like, soon. We're running through them here.
We're good.
But let's see. The Giants, they covered that spread, but the Bears got it done 19-16. Ugly game. I saved all the ugly games for last. You know what I'm saying? Saquon. I mean, are you worried about Saquon over there, or is this just a matchup kind of deal?
You know what?
Didn't do much.
This matchup was supposed to be I eat matchup. Like Barkley was supposed to eat in this. Like that.
It didn't happen.
No. And then
60 yards.
Total, even, right?
Total yards, yeah. 2 catches, so he grabbed you.
And he had a nasty drop too. There was like a big Like,
Yes.
yeah. Like
He did. Yeah, the whole Giants team struggled. Daniel Jones, 150 yards, 2 touchdowns. He was pretty. That was not bad.
Yeah,
Darius
not bad.
Slayton, 60 yards,
Against that
67 yards.
secondary.
Golden Tate got the touchdown over there. It was slim pickings on the other side of the ball.
On the injury report,
Mitch was,
real quick, what there is an injury on here. Golden Tate got a concussion, and it's just one of those things you got to watch out for because, if you get a concussion and you play for the Giants, bro, you're out for hell long.
You're out. They don't fuck around with that.
No, Sterling Shepard, Evan Ingram. Even though Evan Ingram was coupled with leg injuries. This motherfucker was just gone. He had a concussion. It was a wrap. 2 weeks. You know what I mean?
True. Yeah. I mean, Golden Tate's a little bit older of a player, though. He's not a young cat, so he might have some clout.
He got someone. He got in Rocky when Rocky couldn't see. He got someone tapping on his leg. So he's Golden Tate's in there yeah, yo. He's how many fingers? You know what I'm saying? You got fucking Slayton's over there stomping his foot 3 times. 3. You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
You think that? I can see that happening.
Yeah.
That's great. But on the Bears side, like I said, Mitch wasn't bad. 278 yards, 2 picks. He ran one in. No running game over there in Chicago to speak of. No running
on
game
a good matchup. They tried
to give Tariq Cohen some carries.
Yeah, that was you know what? I think we're figuring out that Nagy, after a year of being a head coach, everyone's on to him. So he's trying to, and it's like Sean McVay too. At least it took 2 years for everyone to get on the Sean McVay shit, where it's you're just out coaching yourself. You know what I mean? You're out coaching yourself. You know what I'm saying? You're not using your personnel against your strengths of your personnel against the weaknesses of opposing defenses. And in this case, it was they kept trying to run, but then they figured out, we could actually throw on these motherfuckers because 270, I think that's a season high for Trubisky. You know what I mean? That's really good for the biscuit. You know what I mean?
You are correct, my friend. That is his season high.
Yeah. And check this out. The biscuit, right? First of all, fully has my respect. I fuck with the biscuit. He's because everyone hates him, so I like him. You know what I mean? But
now you're on him?
I mean, I kind of was never off him, but I mean, just as a player, you know what I mean? Not I'm running out to stardom. Love him in DFS all the time because, with that notion, no one starts him because...
You are right. I will never fuck with some Mitch Trubisky.
No, only in DraftKings or FanDuel or some shit, you know what I mean? Because people aren't on him, so, you know what I mean? And he will always be priced cheap, you know what I mean? And he has everything you want in a quarterback. He has the threat of running... but he's just also he has the most important thing you don't want is the idiocy. He's just not smart. You know what I mean?
He's got some Josh Allen in him?
No, Josh Allen is a glorious idiot. He's bro, he's the cliche jock where it was son, this is his dad, right? Josh, you are quite the big fellow. And you're not smart. You're going to need to be good at sports. You know what I mean? He was the cliche. Back in the days, they used to be jocks are idiots, right? Because that's all they're good for. All bronze, no brains. Oh, that's Josh Allen. You know what I mean? But see, Mitchell Trubisky, he might be all, bronze. Not bronze. He's just all idiot. There's no brains. You know what I mean? Yeah, because... So, and you know what's funny is Matt Nagy is becoming the idiot's coach where it's you're a reflection of who you surround yourself with. Because Matt Nagy was one of the upcoming offensive minds, sharp minds you got to look out for. You know what I mean?
I always wonder why they think these guys are the minds when it's isn't the head coach really the guy who has the ultimate say in all this shit?
Yeah.
All of Bill Belichick's coaches, Like, oh, we want to get the guy that's on the Patriots staff. Then they like thinking that's the reason they win.
True.
But no, the reason they win is because of Bill Belichick. You know what I'm saying? And Tom. In the end, you know what I'm saying? So all these like Bill Belichick coaches, they ain't ever gonna be.
Yeah, or in this
great. Like,
case,
which one?
in this
You know what I'm
case,
saying?
it was
Andy
like
Reid
get
coaches.
a Andy Reid. Yeah, you're
You
right.
might get a good coach, you know what I'm saying? But, like, are they going to be great coaches? I don't know. What Doug Peterson might be. He's a pretty good coach. I'd say that. He won a Super Bowl, but, like,
You know what though?
the rest of them are
Jim
a bunch
Schwartz
of
is
failed
there too, though. Jim Schwartz, a fucking great defensive coordinator, where it's like,
Jim Schwartz, you remember when he went after Harbaugh?
yeah, when he slapped him in his back. he
He was so mad.
Yeah, he was because he broke
so
his
mad.
like 6-game winning streak. And you know what's funny too is like he took that fairly hard, right? Like Jim Schwartz, he took that really hard. Like not even fair, like extremely hard. Like they went on to have a losing season, if I remember correctly. It was like they started off hot. His counterpart Jim comes in, whoops his ass. You know what I mean?
Just the pat on the back though at the end was great. Short.
Yeah.
That was the best part. He went after him. Jim Harbaugh. Jim Harbaugh.
Hey, he's a triggered. He gets triggered.
100% intentional. And he did it, ran off, didn't look back. It was great. It was great. Love that. But okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's see. We'll move on from that Giants game. Well, other than Allen Robinson being the star of that game, wasn't much to see. Anthony Miller did all right. Let's see.
Hey, Anthony Miller is steady becoming what I wanted him to be. You know, but it took all the way up to like 3 weeks ago. He started like he's just this target hog. He's a third down look. You know what I mean? Like defenses are they're scheming for Robinson. You know what I mean? This is dope.
Yep. All right, so we're gonna move on. Let's see. We've got a few more games to cover here before we get up out of here. The Pittsburgh Steelers won ugly over there in Cincinnati. We were all wrong about Jalen Samuels. That one hurt. You did come out early Saturday or Sunday morning and you felt like it wasn't going to be that. It said, what did you say? I just have this feeling it's
yeah.
I got to get off.
I was like, listen, I was like, I got to text the goo because, you know what I'm saying, this not only do I fuck with the goo, you know what I'm saying, I care about the goo's whereabouts. Where I'm like, listen, goo, we're on this Jalen, because you actually brought me around to Jalen Samuels. Like
I loved him. He was a star player for me this week.
I know, and you know, I did start him in the one spot I had him, but I'm saying like during the course of the week while we're monitoring Benny the Snail coming back, I'm like on the pod, I'm like, you know, we're you know, Jalen Samuels is the pass catching motherfucker, so. Yeah, granted, you know, Yahoo will boost him up in projection because all these other guys aren't there. There's no James Conner. There's no Benny, you know, and even if Benny the Snell comes back, it wasn't like he was going to be projected higher over than Samuels because Samuels is higher on the depth chart. But I'm like, anytime Samuels came into full effect was like in a losing effort. Like, you know, and then I even related it to the Cleveland Thursday nighter against Cleveland, where it was like, yo, they were losing most of that game, and like he was out there, but instead of throwing him the ball for these easy yardage gainage, they were just like trying to stretch the field. So it was like, but also, you know what I'm saying? I love Mike Tomlin. Shout out to Mike Tomlin, friend of the show, because you know what I'm saying. He reminds me of like an older cat I would like kick it with. You know what I'm saying? Like he reminds me of a cat that's like from the east side. Like, look here, young blood. You know what I mean? Like, because he literally.
I love Mike Tomlin.
I love him too.
My favorite coach like the last 5 years.
Hey, check this out. I just love him. My girl, she knows about football. You know, she's a Niner fan. Her family, so she was raising it. But like, she knows football as far as like I know. Like, I mean, I know what I talk to her about. Outside of the Niners, that's as much as she knows, right? So, like, it's the post-game conference, like, highlights. Because I watch these things, you know what I mean? Like, you know, because I find them hilarious even. But anyways.
Oh, yeah. Mike Tomlin is the best.
Oh, yeah.
The best.
So, like, and my girl, she goes, hey, he doesn't he remind you of someone like an uncle we would know? And I'm like, for real, though. You know what I mean? Right? But check this out. So, you know, for lack of a better term, You know, like a bruh.
He's no bullshit. He's no
Yeah,
bullshit.
but like a bruh. You know what I mean? So here's him in the post conference. They asked him, so why did you switch out Mason Rudolph? He goes, first of all, Mason Rudolph, you know, we love his contribution. We love his effort. You know what I mean? But Duck.
It was time.
Yeah, but Duck Hodginson's, right? Because they call him Duck.
Duck Hodgins, yep.
Yeah,
Duck
because I supposedly, or apparently, he's a champion duck caller in college.
Yep.
Like, first of all, what college offers that? That's dope. But anyways, this motherfucker, so he's like, yeah, we brought in Duck, and, you know, we needed a spark on the offense. You know what I'm saying? And, you know, anything we got to do to win is what we're going to do. And then he says like this, and I quote, "That's how we get down." And I was like, yes, that's how we get down. Not
Absolutely.
even get down. That's how we get down. One word. You know what I mean? It's one word. Get down. That's how we get down. And I was like, oh. But I love my girl's perspective. She's like, doesn't it even remind you of like someone we would know? Like, you know, like a cool uncle. Like, yeah. Like, you know, he's that uncle. Yeah, you know, that's how we get down. You know what I mean? Like,
oh yeah, no, he
I fucking
keeps
love
it real.
that. I
He
fucking
keeps it
love
real. You know, Mike Tomlin loves it dirty. He loves it dirty over there.
Oh,
he,
yeah.
he said, "Fuck you, Mason Rudolph. Sit your ass on the bench. Duck, get out there, start quacking on him, and let's get this done today." Bro. You know what I'm saying? Like he has no loyalty right there. If you ain't shit, he's gonna tell you ain't shit. He's gonna tell you to sit on that bench.
Speaking
Mason
of
Rudolph,
ducks, right? Speaking of ducks, Ryan Finley throws one hell of a duck, right? And Tyler Boyd made himself a highlight reel on. Did you see that?
Oh yeah, with the touchdown.
The super wobbly duck that fucking Finley threw, which ultimately probably got him benched right now. They're like, look, we secured this #1 overall. The Redskins won. We're gonna go ahead and start some fucking goddamn gingerbread man.
They're going back to
They're going back to the rifle. You know what I'm saying?
Which you gotta love for all those Bengals receivers again.
Oh yeah, I'm
Especially for
surprised.
Tyler Boyd.
Also surprised that Tate played. That was fucking shocking. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
he didn't do much. 3
No,
targets.
still though,
1%.
he still played. Coming off like being carded, like I don't know. Makes me think that it was all show. You fucking
Sometimes maybe they do just cart him off like that to be cautious. You never know.
yeah,
I don't know.
a motherfucker taking the hit hard enough, and it also was like considered. It was concussion / neck. You know, protocol, whatever the fuck. So it's like, you know, he might not have been able to feel his toes. He was like, oh my God. You know, he's a young guy. He's a rookie. You know what I'm saying? But still, though, you know what I mean? Like, come on, man. Come on. You're a 6'5". Come on. You know what I mean? It's like, anyways. Then you also have Joe Mixon, volume hog. You know what I'm saying?
Got his 18 carries, 80 yards.
Yeah, he's in bell cow mode. I mean, yeah, in bell cow mode. No. I'm sorry, workhorse mode.
He got his Sony Michelle on.
Yeah. What else? What else is notable in that game? Oh, James Washington. I remember.
He beasted on that touchdown.
Yeah, well, you know what's
Threw a
funny
hell
is
of a
that
stiff
saved
arm.
it. That saved him because as one of our starts of the, one of our streaming starts of the week. Because I remember when we were talking about it on the pod last week, we are like, if Deontay Johnson plays, defensive coordinators are going to treat him like the de facto #1, not James Washington. And that's exactly what happened. You know what I mean? He got the weaker coverage from the weaker cornerback, and he made and they added that spark they needed. You know what I mean? The duck comes in, you know what I'm saying? 3 plays later, boom, James Washington super tug. And it was a highlight reel too. He had a stiff arm action going on in there. It was dope.
Yep. So, all right, well, fair enough. That was an ugly ass game. Benny Snell might get another crack next week. I don't know if James Conner's gonna be ready to go, but
it's
you can let
against the
Jalen
Jets.
Samuels go.
Oh no, it's against the Browns. Here's the thing with the Steelers, all the the Jujus and everything, the Connors, they're gonna get up for this game. They're coming back.
You think Conner's coming back?
They're coming back.
I thought I read something that said Conner's still a little bit of ways away.
Yeah, I'm just saying, their season's on the line now.
Yeah, but Benny Snell is going to do what Conner can do. Like, they don't need to rush Conner back now. They might try, but the notes on him aren't good.
It's the same way I was like, George Kittle's going to get up for this game. Like, these motherfuckers better be dead or they're not playing.
Okay. I like that. So James Conner, I don't know. James Conner already re-aggravated it once. He might be a guy you need to save for the last until he's actually healthy.
I'm just saying, like, this matchup, you know what I'm saying, against the Browns, it's going to be, it's a deciding factor one, too. You know what I mean? Like, this is wild card type of shit. Like, the Steelers losing on Thursday against the Browns, last Thursday, 2 weeks ago now, right?
Yep.
That immediately put the Raiders in the 6th seed because that's where the Steelers were sitting, right? And then the Raiders lose to the Jets, so it pushes them out, and it puts in who was it? It puts in the AFC West. The AFC West, the AFC South, possibly the Colts or Tennessee now. So it's like,
Tennessee's gonna get in there.
I like Tennessee to get in.
They're gonna get in. Trust me.
I like them.
I have to. Let me see. Let me look at the standings here. Let me take a
Yeah, let's veer off real quick.
You love a good.
Oh yeah.
What is Tennessee right now? 6-5. Yeah, Pittsburgh 6-5, Tennessee 6-5, Indy 6-5, Oakland 6-5. So those all So that's
man. And the Colts play the Titans coming up.
Oh yeah, there's gonna be a lot of change. Well, there's still 5 weeks, so we'll see. That's I don't think Pittsburgh gets in. I don't think
so either.
But it's going to be New England, Buffalo, Baltimore, Kansas City, and then Houston. I will say Houston wins their division. Buffalo's already got one wild card. The Buffalo's 8-3. You realize that, right?
Yep.
They're 8-3.
Come on now. I'm closely following my boy, the Stallion.
So of these last teams, Oakland, Indy, Tennessee, Pittsburgh, maybe throwing Cleveland at 5-6. I would roll with Tennessee, Gavin, in there in that 6th seed. I think they're just hot right now. I don't see them slowing down that much. I might be emotional. It is an overreaction Monday. You know what I mean? But Indy might be all right, but Pittsburgh, they're just trash. They don't have a quarterback play that's going to do it. I'm not buying it. And Oakland.
Hey, do you see Roethlisberger on the side with the headset on?
I saw a little bit of it, yeah.
Yeah, he's been, ever since he's been out, that's what he does. So he's the guy who has the direct line to the quarterback. Is it far-fetched to say that when the injury happened, they viewed Mason Rudolph as possibly being the future? So, and then here's Ben Roethlisberger. Hey man, I want the headset. I want to talk to him. I want to help him. And he's just like, yo, double coverage, man. Throw in there. You know what I mean? Like, he's just like fucking him up.
It's all Ben Roethlisberger's diabolical plan.
Yes, because Mason Rudolph, granted it'd be preseason, he looks better than he does. Like, he looks like a competent quarterback. You know what I'm saying? But then it's like,
that guy sucks.
Yeah, he sucks. Well, hit me with the next game, Goo.
Okay, let's see. We got a couple more, I think. Let's see. Did we talk about the
Let's get to the Stallion. Let's get to the Stallion.
Yeah, they got it done. We were 8-3 over there. They won 20-3 over the shitty Broncos.
Hey, I'm hella mad. I'm hella mad that I took the Broncos to cover. For the record, I did say the Bills will win this game. You know what I mean? But it was just like, hey, you know what?
Yeah.
I think
Devin Singletary had 100 yards over there. That was nice to see.
Oh yeah, I know, right? You know what?
21 carries.
He was in the Millionaire Maker lineup 2 weeks in a row.
Really?
No one's looking at Devin Singletary in the DFS world.
Cole Beasley was a guy I loved this week, and I pulled him out of my FanDuel last minute, and I'm really upset about it.
If you remember, shout out to Ray Fresh. I was playing him in the TFL, and he's our resident Bills fan. He's the one Bills fan I know, right? And he literally has all the Bills. He has fucking, and if he doesn't have Bills, he has like guys in the AFC East. You know what I mean? Like, he's one of those guys. Right?
He's loyal to the soil, huh?
Oh, yeah. But so in this case, he had Cole Beasley. He has Josh Allen. He has Buffalo Bills defense. And I remember I go, yeah, this motherfucker switched out. Obviously, he switched him out for Parker, which is a good play. But he switched out Cole Beasley for Parker. And I was like, theoretically, Cole Beasley's the play. Like the John Brown touchdown, it was phenomenal. It was John Brown doing downtown things. You know what I mean? But like, other than that, it was like, you know what I mean? Like, oh, okay, hold on real quick. Side note. Remember last week's pod when we were having this discussion, you were like, John Brown? You were like, for real? You're like, you ain't worried about Chris Harris? I mean, you're like, Diggs, you weren't saying that about Diggs. Because remember when Diggs played him the week before. So, bro, I went and looked. All 5, Diggs was 5 for 5. And in that game, they didn't have Chris Harris shadowing. So fucking odd. And all 5 of his receptions, Chris Harris wasn't on him. Fucking insane.
Good deep dive.
Yeah, because I refused. Because you know why? I lost to Diggs that week too. I was playing against him and I was upset.
And you had to know why.
Yeah, even like a week later. Like, fuck that. We're going back to week 11 real quick. Or week 12 or whatever. Yeah, week 11.
You needed closure.
I needed
closure.
It. And it made me feel better. I was like, oh, okay, word. Because Cousins is not stupid like that. You know what I mean? But anyways, Josh Allen is, though. He's like, I don't give a fuck. I don't give a fuck who's on him. That's my boy downtown. He's downtown? You know what I'm saying? What was that, a 34-yarder?
Yeah. I mean, he only had 4 targets. Cole Beasley had 9 over there, so.
Yeah, because it was the weaker coverage.
He made it count, though.
And in this game, they did, for the most part, have Chris Harris just glued to downtown John Brown. You know what I'm saying? Because of the whole Stephon Diggs debacle. Like, and that was them coming off a bye week where they were probably like, all right, well, check this out. We'll double coverage Diggs, and you'll go ahead and get Busy Johnson, Chris Harris. You know what I mean? Like, that's basically what happened.
Take the week off.
Yeah, what the fuck? You know what I mean? Anyways, I'm still I guess
let's get back to week 12.
We haven't closed it.
Let me see. All right, we got one more game.
Wait, hold on.
What happened?
Big Jamaican horns. Shout out to Frankie G. The Tank. Surpassing Barry Sanders, 3rd overall on the all-time rushing list. This is cool, man.
Yeah, that's our boy, deep at core. He's a Niner.
I love him.
He's going in a Niner. That's all.
He literally left the Niners and was like, anywhere I go, this is my mission.
He's been gone for like 5 years now. He's still going. I mean,
and he was just trying to get 3rd overall. That's all he was trying to do this whole time.
Hey, he secured the bag.
Bro, I'm surprised they didn't like, because they did the whole thing. They announced it. They're, boom, everyone's clapping and they're all hugging him. I'm surprised he didn't retire right there. Like, all right, then.
He can go out now.
Yeah, but you know what, though? He's actually on a team that can
That's going to be in the playoffs.
Yeah. And, like, they're one of those teams, bro. Like, I feel like they're like the Titans, bro. Like, they shock these motherfuckers. You know, granted, the Bills have had like a cake schedule. You know what I mean? And being in that division. But yeah, hit me with the next game, Goo.
True. It is the last game on the schedule. We're going to wrap it up. But the crappiest game of the day, the Detroit Lions couldn't get it done. They could not get it done.
The crappiest game? You mean you saved the best for last?
This was not. It was
trash.
No,
but hold on. All right.
It was tragic. I like to see that. I liked my boy Big Bo running for 98 yards. He did fumble one.
Mm-hmm.
The Driscoll kid, he threw 3 picks. My FanDuel defense I played was Washington D. They were the cheapest defense on the board. Remember me saying that, right?
Yep.
Do you remember me talking about that?
I distinctly remember you saying that. Yep.
And they came out. They put up like 20-something points in FanDuel. They were my highest scoring actually, other than Derrick Henry.
They got the 6 points from the picks. They got the picks. They got the run back. That's another 6.
Yeah, 4 turnovers. They had 6 sacks too.
Yeah, 6 sacks. So that we're talking about 18 points. The point different. The points that the Lions could put up on them had nothing to do with. You know what I mean? You couldn't affect those 18 solid points that defense put up for you. And then
exactly.
And okay. Can you give me a poltergeist? line on this?
The Poltergeist, he got 10 carries for 32 yards, 2 targets. So he flopped out. I mean, Adrian Peterson got the 10 carries too. With it, 20. No, nobody did nothing. Crap. It was ugly.
Okay,
they
Terry
won ugly.
McLaurin, the
5
Scottish
for
lad.
12 targets.
Bro.
Fire up the bagpipes. We're back,
Bro.
baby.
Hey, let me tell you something. He's
Go on,
open.
week 12 points.
He's open every time.
Well, Haskins is just going to keep looking for him.
Bro,
There's no one else to throw to over there.
There was two times in the end zone he overthrew him. But one of them, there was no one around. He double moved a motherfucker type of shit. And he was wide open, and this fool airmailed it. Pissed me off. Because I'm always looking to fire up the bagpipes. I mean, it costs a lot to fly in some authentic Scottishmen that play the bagpipes. But I'm willing to go the lengths for our boy, the laddie.
After about week 7, week 8, we had to send them home.
Yeah, because we were just paying for them to be around. You know what I mean? And hoping.
You know, it was affecting our bottom line. You know what I'm saying?
Even last week, the laddie, he had a touchdown. When there was a flag, I was like, motherfucker. I'm like, you know what, Doug? How worried are we for his future? Like, is he going to be just fucked with this fucking quarterback? Even though that's his boy?
I would say next year there's more upside. He's a rookie quarterback. I don't put much faith in or much stock into, and he's a rookie receiver. So I mean, these guys could grow. There's potential to grow. So I mean,
but you know what though? Terry McLaurin, he catches the ball with his hands, bro. He's doing you know what I mean? Like he's not pulling things into his body. He's catching the ball. He's plucking it. You know what I mean? Like he's good. He's getting separation. He runs great routes. This kid is the truth. It's sad. It's like Corey Davis all over to me. All over again. That's how I'm looking at it right now for him.
Yeah. I mean, Haskins is not a good quarterback.
No.
Then yeah, that's what their floor is. I mean, I don't know if Haskins is going to be terrible. He doesn't look great now, but he could be better going forward. But he also could be a bust. He's on a shitty organization and a whole shitty situation.
They win the game, right? And I'm even on the pod. I said, me and you both took Detroit, if I remember correctly. But I did say like this is gonna be a fun game because this could be one of those morale raising games for a young quarterback because he could win this game. You know what I mean? This is one of those ones.
Yeah.
And because I also pointed out that Matt Patricia, he's one of those guys that he gets up for the big games. He's like a giant slayer. Like what did they call the Titans?
I don't know.
Where they beat like the good teams, they upset you had a name for them.
Spoiler?
You had a better one.
Big Game Hunters?
Big Game Hunters, yes. So Matt Patricia is a big game hunter. So like he's gonna beat the Chiefs, he's gonna beat the Patriots, he's gonna do shit like that with this Lions team. But like when you play the shittiest team that you can't even predict because everything on paper is like, or everything on film just looks shitty, we're like, oh, okay. Everything we see is shitty. This is good. We got this. You know what I mean? And then they just beat your ass somehow. You know what I mean?
Well, Jake Driscoll is your quarterback, so it's not like he's like, Matthew Stafford's out there. I mean, Driscoll, he is not.
I love too many horrible players, don't I?
You really are way more into him than you should be. I'm gonna be honest with you. He
I
does
love
run it a little bit. He can get to 60 yards, but like he's not a good
He
quarterback.
ran for 63.
Let me tell you this: if you're a Kenny Galladay owner, do you love Jake Driscoll?
No,
you know
but if I'm a Marvin Jones owner, I'm like, hell yeah.
He gets 11 cheap targets, 5 for 46. I mean, he's not
fuck
terrible.
out of Marvin Jones. He's like, fuck you, Kenny. For real though, right?
Of course.
I mean, it's not even like Josh Norman is like a threat. It's like
he was out this game.
No, he played, didn't he?
No, Josh Norman didn't play.
No, he was like a late active, I think.
Josh Norman?
Yeah.
No, Josh Norman was inactive.
Okay, because I know he was hurt all week. I thought he was. They said he was gonna play. Okay, either way.
They confirmed he wasn't playing. That was one of the ones I heard before the day that he wasn't playing.
Because that's who would have been on him. All right, well, either way. Here's the funny shit. This is what worries me about Terry McLaurin's future, okay? Because he is attached to a legit idiot. You know how I talk about like how like Josh Allen, the stallion, the white Cam Newton himself, how he is a glorious idiot. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Yo, this guy Dwayne Haskins, he's a vain idiot. You know what I mean? Like, no, I'm telling you, because while you're supposed to go and get into victory formation, right? He is nowhere to be found because he's taking selfies of himself. First of all, that means he premeditated this. He probably does this every game because he probably fools himself that he can win every game where he's like, I'm going to have my phone nearby. So when I know we're winning, I'm going to post a picture of me and my first winning game. And my grandchildren will see it. And their children will see it. You know what I mean? Like, that's his thought process, bro. Get your mind out of the gutter and get in the game, motherfucker. Watch.
Oh, yeah. That's hilarious.
Bro.
Yeah, I like that you called that out. I didn't notice that earlier in the day.
Fucking idiot.
Or after.
Well, yeah.
A vain idiot. Oh, yeah, Washington, D. They got the punt return, or the kick return, too. So for the special teams, they get that stick.
That's what I said. They had the 6 sacks, the 6 points from the return. So that's a solid 12, plus the what was it? The 3 turnovers. That's another the 3 picks. So that's another 6 points. So yeah, a solid 18-point floor. Plus the 2 points that they got from the points that they gave up. You know what I mean?
Yep. It was man. I was the only one who played them. It was I do a little 10 game or like 10-man one, but yeah, they put up 21 points.